Today I wanted to show the kind of lenses that I intend to use with my Sony A7IV, the kind of lenses that I've got for now, and why I need specifically these ones, or why I think these ones will be very useful. So the first lens that I bought with this camera is, and which already lives on the camera most of the time, is this Sony 16-35 f2.8. The reason why I bought this one was because of the wide field of view on one side, which is really good for landscape photography, which I like to do a lot, obviously. It's good for filming as well, things like B-roll to get some beautiful views in, and 35 is just really good for zooming in. I mean, this lens is not cheap, but on the other side, I think it's a very useful focal length. In the past, I always had something like a 24 to 70 millimeters, which might have been just as good, but this time I just wanted to have the slightly wider field of view that you get between 16 to 24 millimeters. I've also noticed that with this particular camera you can do something called a clear zoom, I think it's called, where I've set it to one of the buttons where you just press on the button once and then you can adjust the zoom to something like 1.5, so which means that with a 35 I would get more or less up to 50 millimeters, which makes it a fairly good all-around lens for me, for now at least. Then we'll see what will happen in the future. The other lens that I got myself very quickly was this one. Here you go. I'm filming on my GoPro. Oops. I'm filming on my GoPro, so I need to make sure that I can see what I'm telling you. Here. So this lens that I bought straight away is the Sony 90mm macro f2.8. There are two reasons why I bought this lens straight away. One is that I'm into macro photography next to landscape photography. I like to walk around and look for beautiful compositions in the small things, mainly flowers and vegetation. I work next to a botanical garden, so that's always quite nice to be able to do that. This one, it's quite similar to other camera systems and lenses where you can choose how close you are to your subject so that the lens knows where to look for focus if you're using autofocus. I really like this lens, and the other reason why I got myself this lens is, well, I've got a lot of old film photographs which are hanging around and for which I find they've kind of been forgotten. They've been put into a cupboard, gathering dust, and all these memories are kind of lost. So what I've started to do is I scan these old films, and for that I need a really good macro lens, this one. Yeah. So that's what I've got now, this very wide lens here, this macro lens here. And then for now I've got one very, very special and different lens. So this lens here that I bought used, obviously, is called the Carl Zeiss Jena Biotar 2 5.8 centimeters or 58 millimeters. So this is a vintage lens that I really like. Let's see, I'll get it out of the bag here. Oh, look at that. It's really beautiful. Where here you can see, can you see? Yeah, it's a really beautiful type of the lens. So this lens is roughly 80 years old. It's in perfect conditions. Yeah, it's got an old M42 screw mount. And the reason why I got this lens with my big camera is twofold. One is that I plan to take film photographs with some of these old cameras. I would like to get one of the old M42 cameras on which I can then use this lens. The other reason is because this lens is said to produce really nice bokeh and special kind of effects that you can't really get with modern cameras. That's one thing. And because I also wanted to be able to use this lens with my Sony A7IV with the digital camera, I got myself this adapter here. which goes on one side onto the let's make sure the wind doesn't take this away. Goes onto the Sony mount. Right, let's just get this off to show you. Okay, let's take this off. There you go. So the adapter goes here onto my modern camera. And then I can put this one on here. See? And then we've got this 80-year-old lens on my modern camera. Yeah. And then we can take some photos and videos with it. I'll speak about this lens another time, but yeah, it's really beautiful. It's all metal. It's quite a contrast to have this on a modern camera. These are the main lenses that I use with my Sony A7IV. I'm sure that in the future this will change again, but let me know if you have any questions down in the comment. And until then, thanks for watching and see you the next time. Bye!